First race as a pro in Europe, this from Gout Gout. Now he's got a target. Menya moving away from him, Morizzi in the headband. A battle between these two, and Gout working so hard to get to him, and he gets there. Gout takes it by a meter and moving away, 20.04.
Gout Gout broke Usain Bolt's records while he was still in school. Now school is finished, the pressure is higher, and there is no backup plan. What happens when a teenage sprint star trains with the fastest runners in the world with everything on the line? That chapter is now officially over. With the completion of year 12, Gout Gout has graduated from Ipswich Grammar School, bringing an end to one of the most unusual eras in modern athletics. The schoolboy phenomenon is gone. What comes next is something far more serious, far more demanding, and far more dangerous. Gout Gout is stepping into the world of full-time professional sprinting, and nothing about the journey ahead will be easy. His rise was never ordinary. From the moment his name began appearing on junior result sheets, coaches and analysts knew something was different. His acceleration did not look rushed. His mechanics did not look forced. He ran with a calmness that suggested he understood speed in a way most teenagers never do. As he progressed through youth competitions, the times kept falling. Then came the moment that changed everything. Breaking records once held by Usain Bolt is not something that happens quietly. It does not matter if those records are age group marks or junior milestones. Bolt's name carries weight. It carries history. When Gout Gout ran faster than Bolt did at the same age, the global track community took notice. Suddenly, this was no longer just an Australian story. It became an international conversation. What made it even more remarkable was the context. Gout was still attending classes. He still had homework. He still had exams. While elite juniors in other countries often move into specialized training environments early, Gout continued balancing school life with elite competition. Teachers, classmates, and coaches watched him switch between textbooks and starting blocks in a way that felt almost unreal. But that balance came at a cost. Every race added pressure. Every fast time raised expectations. Every headline pushed the finish line further away. The world wanted to know what would happen when school was no longer part of the equation. Would he get faster? Would the pressure break him? Or would the freedom unlock something even more dangerous? That question is now being answered. In January 2026, Gout Gout is heading to the United States, a move that signals the most important shift of his career so far. He will train under Lance Brauman, one of the most respected sprint coaches in the world, and alongside Olympic champion Noah Lyles. This is not a symbolic visit. It is a full commitment to elite sprinting at the highest possible level. Training with Lyles changes everything. Noah Lyles is not just fast. He is battle-tested. He understands championship rounds, global pressure, and the mental grind of staying at the top. For a young athlete like Gout, that environment offers something Australia simply cannot replicate on a daily basis. This is where world titles are prepared. This is where speed is refined, not discovered. Lance Brauman's presence matters just as much. His track record speaks for itself. He does not rush athletes. He does not chase hype. He builds systems that peak when it matters most. For Gout Gout, that structure could be the difference between junior brilliance and senior success. The target is clear: qualification for the Tokyo World Championships. That goal is not about participation. It is about proving that his junior times were not a fluke. World Championship standards demand consistency, durability, and execution under pressure. It means surviving rounds, staying healthy, and delivering when fatigue sets in. This is where many prodigies disappear. Talent alone is not enough. One of the most interesting aspects of this transition is how carefully it is being managed. Gout's team has been clear about avoiding overload. That word carries weight. Young athletes often burn out not because they lack ability, but because they are asked to do too much too soon. More races, more appearances, more sponsorship demands. The calendar fills up and recovery disappears. Gout's management appears determined not to let that happen. As he steps into professional athletics, commercial opportunities are inevitable. His story sells itself. A schoolboy breaking Bolt's records. An Australian with global potential. Brands will line up. The challenge will be choosing which partnerships support performance rather than distract from it. So far, the messaging has been disciplined. Performance comes first. Everything else follows. Now, free from classroom demands, Gout plans to dramatically increase his training load. That does not mean reckless volume, it means focused work, more technical sessions, more strength development, more speed endurance. These are the areas that separate junior stars from senior medalists. The 200 meters sits at the center of that conversation. Breaking 20 seconds legally in the 200 meters is one of the most respected milestones in sprinting. It is the mark that separates good sprinters from global threats. For Australia, it would be historic. No Australian has ever done it under legal conditions. For Gout Gout, it represents more than a number. It represents belief. Belief that his speed can hold over distance. Belief that his technique can survive fatigue. Belief that he belongs on the world stage, not just as a curiosity, but as a contender. The transition from schoolboy to professional also changes how the world views him. Mistakes are no longer learning experiences. Losses are no longer excused by age. Expectations harden. Critics appear. Comparisons intensify. This is where mental strength becomes just as important as physical talent. Training in the United States will test that mental side every day. He will line up against athletes who do not care about his age, his past, or his headlines. They will care about one thing only: who crosses the line first. That environment can break young athletes, or it can sharpen them. So far, Gout Gout has shown signs that he understands what is coming. His public comments have been measured. There is no bravado, no guarantees, just focus. He speaks about work, improvement, and patience. That mindset suggests maturity beyond his years. Graduation was not just a ceremony, it was a symbolic ending. The end of being protected by youth, the end of being introduced as a schoolboy sensation. From now on, he will be judged by professional standards, and that is exactly what he seems to want. The next phase of his career will not be built on viral clips or junior records. It will be built on consistency, health, and execution. Every training block will matter. Every race will teach something. Every setback will test his resolve. For Australian athletics, the stakes are enormous. The country has produced great athletes, but sprinting dominance has always felt just out of reach. Gout Gout represents a rare chance to change that narrative. Not through hype, but through performance. For fans, the story becomes more complex. It is no longer about marveling at a teenager doing the impossible. It is about watching a young man chase something that history says should not be easy. Watching how he responds to pressure. Watching how he adapts when winning is no longer guaranteed. This is where real careers are made. The graduation photos mark the end of one journey. The move to the United States marks the beginning of another. Somewhere between early morning training sessions and late-night recovery work, Gout Gout will discover who he really is as an athlete. Not a prodigy, not a schoolboy. A professional sprinter chasing a place among the fastest men on earth, and the clock has already started ticking.